country. Can you imagine trying to run a business or a company with stage 4 load shedding? You have the power going off twice a day. One sector being badly affected for the last 2 years by the pandemic is the restaurant sector. Wendy Alberts is the CEO of the Restaurants Association. Wendy, good afternoon to you. I mean, stage 4 load shedding must be devastating on your members.
Absolutely. We're very concerned again with the direct impact that the load shedding is having on our industry. It's yet another challenge that we are facing within the realm of trying to mobilize the restaurant industry.
Could it force some of your members to close? They've had such a difficult time just finally getting back on their feet, perhaps, and now finally, and then suddenly load shedding comes along.
Absolutely. As you know, it's been a very difficult 2 years for us, and we've done everything to try and survive so many parts of COVID. Now we are back on trying to survive the load shedding. We certainly have called to landlords that they have a responsibility and an onus on the lease to actually provide alternative energy solutions. And we've also called on the landlords to put pressure that Eskom needs to take responsibility for the situation. There are very many clever ways to spread the load shedding at different times where it doesn't have impact on businesses. But to not properly consult with us to understand when it's most essential for us to be able to use it is really definitely putting pressure on our industry. What we have seen is that obviously larger restaurants have put in the infrastructure to be able to set up generators, but it's costly. So the financial cost on our businesses is paramount. So it's not as simple as just saying, well, we have a generator, we can continue to trade. The cost to run that generator is extremely high, and that has huge financial impacts on our restaurants.
I was going to come to that. I mean, running a generator is an expensive thing. Electricity is much cheaper to produce at a massive, massive scale. That means that, people who are already battling, your members who are already battling, are still just going to find life so much harder. I mean, I can't imagine how difficult it's been for your industry over the last 2 years, and now this.
Look, the admiration that we have for each other in this industry to survive day to day with all the different challenges is really exceptional. You can just imagine, the pressure on the carbon footprint, there's safety issues with generators, to be able to currently fund the fuel for those generators, to ensure that we've got manpower to get to those generators. In the retail spaces where landlords haven't provided for the generators, we're still expected to pay the rental. So we've been trading at 25%. We're now managing to just slightly get to a recovery. We've been enthusiastic to invite people back to our businesses. And now the electricity gets turned off, and, romantic dining isn't always an option for us because coffee machines still need to go. The food waste gets heavily impacted. We can't use certain equipment in the restaurants. Yes, we do have gas. There are alternatives. But it makes our businesses very, very complicated to run from an operational perspective.
There's going to be more load shedding, Wendy. I hate to say it, but this is stage 4 until the rest of the week. And I think there's probably going to be more load shedding after that. Your industry is one of those that's really very vulnerable to load shedding. There's no way around this. I appreciate the frustration and anger you must feel towards Eskom, but there's no quick solution to this.
Look, we are currently consulting with other industry players and other associates within the hospitality sector. We are looking at putting some formulation together for Eskom to take responsibility of what they're doing to our businesses. There are many parts that we've learned through the last 2 years that things could have been done different with proper consultation engagement within our industry. And as an industry now, we're going to hold certain parts of governments and certain parts of supply chain that have heavily impacted our businesses negatively accountable. We're still waiting for TERS, UIF. There's so many other factors that have impacted our businesses negatively that as a result of those transition that weren't taken care of properly, we've sat where we've had to close restaurants where potentially we could have kept them open. This is something else that we're betting to the list that we are certainly going to challenge, and we are going to hold Eskom accountable for the shortfall that is currently happening within our businesses.
Wendy Alberts, thanks very much indeed, CEO of the Restaurants Association. Do appreciate the time this afternoon.